When you think about farming, you probably picture something pretty traditional, right? Well, today, it's actually at the heart of this massive tech revolution. We're talking smart agriculture, stuff like AI, data, and robotics that's completely changing how we get our food. So let's jump right in and check out this high-tech harvest. And really, what's driving all this? It comes down to a huge fundamental challenge. Our global population, it's just getting bigger and bigger. But the number of people actually working in agriculture is shrinking, and that workforce is getting older. So we're left with this massive question. How on earth are we going to feed everyone and feed them well, with fewer and fewer hands to do the work? The answer, believe it or not, is all about data. And it's not just about the workforce either. Farmers are dealing with all sorts of pressures. Costs for things like feed and materials, they're going through the roof. There's this constant demand to produce more, more, more. And on top of that, there's a huge and really important focus on animal welfare. The old way of doing things, just based on gut feelings and experience, well, it's just not cutting it anymore. These are the exact problems that tech is stepping in to solve. All right, so here's what we're going to cover. We'll look at the move from just guessing to using real data. Then we'll meet the digital shepherds watching over animals around the clock. We're also going to step inside some incredibly smart barns, see how sustainability is getting a huge boost, and wrap it all up by looking at what this all means for the future of the food on your plate. Okay, let's get into it. First up, from guesswork to data. This is all about swapping out that old-school human intuition for cold, hard, objective analysis that's lightning fast. Okay, this right here, it's the perfect example of what I'm talking about. On the left, you've got the human eye. A farmer with years of experience looks at a pasture and says, yeah, that looks pretty good. But what does pretty good actually mean? My pretty good might be different from yours. It's totally subjective. But now look at the right. You have an AI eye. A drone flies over, snaps some pictures, and the AI converts all that visual info into real numbers. It's consistent, it's repeatable, it's the same objective measurement every single time. And just to give you an idea of how slow the old way was, get this. For a trained expert to look at a photo and manually figure out the composition of the grass in just 1 square meter, it would take them more than 3 hours. 3 hours for one little square. So you're probably wondering, how long does the AI take? 1 second. Just let that sink in. 3 hours of human work crunched down into a single second. That's not just a little faster, it's a total game changer. It means you can analyze huge areas in ways that were just impossible before. And this whole data-first approach isn't just for fields, it's for the animals too. There's this really important health metric for cows called the Body Condition Score, or BCS. Basically, it's a way to measure their fat levels to see how healthy they are. And for, forever, this was done by a person literally feeling the cow's back and making a judgment call. Super subjective, and it takes a lot of time. But check this out. Now, all they have to do is have the cows walk under a 3D camera. The camera maps the shape of the cow's back. The AI crunches the numbers to get a totally objective score, and boom, it's logged for that individual cow. So you're getting daily health updates on every single animal automatically, without anyone lifting a finger. So, all this data collection leads us to our next big idea, the 24/7 digital shepherd. I love that term. It's exactly what it sounds like. Always-on monitoring that lets farmers get ahead of problems, instead of just reacting to them. So how does it work? Well, take a system called U-Motion. A cow wears a small sensor, kind of like a Fitbit, on its neck or ear. It tracks everything, 24/7, how much it's walking, eating, resting, all of it. The really cool part is the AI learns what's normal for each individual cow. So if one of them starts acting just a little bit off, the system knows, and it sends an alert straight to the farmer's phone. It can catch problems way before a person ever could. And this table shows that proactive shift perfectly. A downer cow accident. It's a really bad situation where a cow can't get up. The old systems would only send an alert after the cow was already in trouble. The farmer would have to rush out and help. But this new AI service, Bujadas, is way smarter. It uses cameras to see when a cow is lying in a risky way before it becomes a problem. And instead of bugging the farmer, it just plays a little sound that makes the cow shift on its own. It stops the problem before it even starts. Incredible. And this quote from a farmer really brings it home. He said, "I can now sleep at night with peace of mind." That says it all, doesn't it? This isn't just about spreadsheets and productivity. It's about giving farmers a break from the constant worry that comes with caring for animals. Okay, so this tech isn't just wearable anymore. It's being built right into the farm itself. Let's talk about smarter barns and how they're creating the perfect environment for healthier, happier animals. So, for dairy cows, heat is public enemy number one. Just look at this chart. In the spring and fall, things are great. But in the summer, milk production plummets. We're talking a drop of about 5 kilograms per cow every single day. Multiply that across a whole herd, and that is a huge financial hit, all because the cows are stressed out from the heat. So what's the fix? Well, you redesign the barn. These new windowless barns are pretty amazing. They use these super smart cross-ventilation systems that keep the air flowing perfectly. No more hot spots, no more stuffy corners. It's just a stable, comfortable temperature all year long. And the results are exactly what you'd expect. Less stressed cows and milk production that stays high even when it's scorching hot outside. And we're seeing this same kind of thinking in pig farming. On the left, you see the old way, individual stalls. They kept the pigs separate, but it really restricted their movement, which is a big animal welfare issue. Now look at the right, smart group housing. The sows can walk around and socialize, which is way better for them. But, and this is the clever part, each one has an electronic tag. When she goes to eat, the station reads her tag and gives her a perfectly customized meal. So you get the best of both worlds, freedom for the animals and precision data for the farmer. All right, this tech isn't just about making more food. It's also about dealing with what's left over. We're going to talk about closing the sustainability loop, basically how to turn farm waste from a problem into a product. So here's the number for you, 3.3 kilograms. Any guesses? Well, for every single kilogram of milk a cow makes, she also produces 3.3 kilograms of manure. Now imagine a whole herd of cows. That adds up to literally tons of waste that has to be dealt with every single day. So how do you handle all that? Well, with something like this, the Compo vertical composter. It's this brilliant, totally sealed system. You put the manure in the top and the machine takes over. It perfectly controls the temperature and airflow to speed up the composting process. In just 24 hours, what went in as smelly waste comes out as a dry, nutrient-packed organic fertilizer. It's fast, it doesn't smell, and it turns a huge expense into something the farm can actually sell. Okay, so let's zoom out for a second. When you add all this up, the drones, the animal Fitbits, the smart barns, the waste recyclers, you're not just looking at a bunch of cool gadgets. You're actually seeing the blueprint for the future of our entire food system. So, what are the big takeaways from all this? Well, first, it's a system that's totally data-driven. No more just guessing. Second, it's proactive and humane. It's about stopping problems before they start and giving animals a better life. It's also way more efficient and sustainable, saving labor and resources. And when you put that all together, you get a food system that's more resilient, one that's ready to face whatever challenges are coming our way. And that leaves us with one last big question to think about. We've seen how data is reshaping the farm, but what happens when that data follows the food all the way to your plate? When your steak or your glass of milk has its own data stream telling its whole story, how is that going to change the way we, as consumers, think about our food? What will that future look like?